Hello and welcome back. My name is Urban and today we are going to take a look at a small but very impactful upgrade for the Frankfurt Arsenal X-10 press. This is the Armanov Bearing Shellplate Clamp. So here we see the original X-10 Bearing Shellplate Clamp, and it does its job just fine, but lacks the precision needed to reload really precise ammunition. As you can see, this is especially important when reloading rifle cases, where pulling the cases out of the die is hard and takes up a lot of force that is then transferred through the bearing underneath the shell plate and the shell plate itself. This can lead to inconsistent indexing, inconsistent ammunition, and the bearing underneath the shell plate will inevitably develop play. That's where our bearing shellplate clamp comes in. It replaces the stock part with a precision machined billet aluminum upgrade that uses a built-in enlarged lip and a special glide ring to drastically enlarge the clamping area and help stabilize the shellplate and reduce its movement. And what's the result? Super smooth indexing, longer life of your press components, and more consistent, precise ammunition. Now let's take a look what is included in the box. You get the bearing shellplate clamp itself and 3 IGUS glide bearing rings. So first let's take a look at the shellplate clamp itself. It is machined from one-piece billet aluminum, and here we can see on the bottom it has an extended edge that will stabilize the shellplate when moving. As you can see before, we also got 3 IGUS glide rings. Why 3? Because there are 3 different thicknesses from 0.8, 1.0 and 1.2 millimeter thickness. Now that we know what comes in the box, let's take this and mount it on the Frankfurt Arsenal X-10 press. The installation process is quite straightforward. First, let's turn off the tool head light and remove the power connector. Then we will remove the bolt that holds the powder measure, return rod and spring, and pull it as far down as it goes. Next, we unplug the primer sensor. Next, if you have a bullet feeder like I do, remove the retention springs and the bullet feeder dropper itself. And now we can start with the tool head itself. So now that all the auxiliary components are removed from the tool head, we will remove the tool head itself. We will loosen the main bolt and lift the tool head off. I am using a special Armanov wrench designed to loosen the tool head with the dies in place. You can find it on our web shop. Simply unscrew the tool head bolt and lift the complete assembly of the machine. When everything is removed, we can remove also the clamp itself. I recommend you put the machine in its downward position so you have more room around the clamp, and you use a hex 3mm key to loosen and unscrew all of these bolts. And when all the bolts are loosened, simply lift off the old shellplate retainer. For installation of the Armanov shellplate clamp, first I recommend you use the thinnest 0.08 glide bearing, and if this will not be okay for you, you can use one of the thicker ones, or even use a thicker one and sand it a little bit to get the perfect fit, so the clamp will not press too hard on the shellplate and make too much friction when shellplate is turning. This is why you get 3 different rings, so you can precisely adjust the clamping force. I will use the number 08, so the first one, the thinnest one, and mount the clamp on to see how it goes. The clamp is designed so you can reuse the original bolts, drop them inside and tighten. You do not need to over tighten, just enough they are snug, maybe a little more if you think they are going to come loose, but do not need to make excessive press, because the bottom of the clamp sits on the frame in any case. This means that when it sits, it's there. It will not go any further. Make sure they're tightened, and now you can cycle the press and check for excessive movement or excessive friction when moving. This will indicate if the blue ring, the glide ring, is too thick if you have excessive friction, or too thin if the play from the shell plate was not removed. And then you can adjust the blue ring accordingly. I can feel no excess in the friction. I also have almost no excess movement in the shell plate itself. Now, if you're satisfied with this, you just do the complete reverse of the deinstallation of the tool head and every other element you took off the press in the reassembly. The Armanov Bearing Shellplate Clamp has quite a few features and benefits. It's precision machined from aluminium with a bigger surface area to help stabilize your shellplate and ensure your shellplate bearing will last as long as possible. It also helps with producing more consistent ammunition, also with consistent indexing, and improves reliability during long reload sessions. Smooth and consistent shellplate movement with less effort thanks to the E-Goose Glide bearing, which minimizes friction and helps with smooth rotation of the shellplate. Now, the Armanov Bearing Shellplate Clamp for the Frankford Arsenal X-10 press is a simple but powerful upgrade that ensures maximum performance and longevity of your press, and also make sure that the ammunition will be consistent and precise throughout your reloading sessions. If you like this product, you can find it in our web shop, armanov.com, and I have also posted a link to the product down below. So guys, if you like this video, please leave us a like and subscribe to the Armanov YouTube channel for more upgrades and reloading innovations. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and of course, leave us a comment in the comment section down below. See you soon, and thank you for watching.